guys, welcome to New by Design. Today I'm going to be doing a video here on Destiny, and this is going to be a guide to how to be the sword bearer, how to easily be the sword bearer. There are a lot of guides on how to do sword bearing, but a lot of them are kind of complex and require a lot of additional skill. Obviously, I'm going to be doing this on my Hunter, however, I will be releasing a video eventually on how to do this on Titan or Warlock as well. You can notice with this one here, we've got a couple of mistakes. People have been falling down and all that kind of stuff, so there's a couple issues right off the hop here that we'll have run into. You can notice that I'm throwing a grenade, and I'm actually going down here. The reason for going down here is because if you stay here, the sword bearer will generally stick to around this rock. You can see I've taken an awful lot of damage, and that's just because it took a really long time for this group to kill the sword bearer himself. Right about now, I'm going to be calling for damage here. You can notice that I haven't done anything. I haven't gone invisible. I've just jumped up here. I'm going to go ahead and take 3 strikes, and then instead of trying to drop the sword and stab him to go invisible, I'm just going to crouch down right over here. I'm going to go invisible by crouching down, call for some damage, and then I'm going to run right over to him and do 3 more strikes. Once you get the 3rd strike in, basically what you're going to do is run over to the left here. You can notice there's no complex version of this. I cut it pretty close with the sword, and I ended up almost dying on the bottom there by the sword bearer, but again, that was just caused because people didn't kill the sword bearer fast enough. That's not going to be an issue that you run into, and there is ways to avoid it, and I'll show you what the ways are right now. You can see that I'm burning off my super here right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch to a piece of equipment that will charge your health while you pick up orbs. So we're going to wait for this super to end here. Once it ends, we're going to go ahead and start collecting orbs, and that will basically regenerate our health. So that's going to be one of the essential things to this being a sword bearer, at least being a sword bearer the easy way. Obviously, you don't need it. You can do it many other ways here, but this is basically the safest way to do it. You can notice I'm switching back. I'm going to be using the Bones of AO, and that's because it increases the jump. I'm going to go ahead and speed camera play up here because this is not essential at all. And what we're going to do is after this run, there's going to be 2 runs. I should have probably mentioned that at the start. After this run, we're going to go ahead and look at the setup that you need to make this work, and again, this is going to be to make being a sword bearer easy. You can see that again, I'm going to be going to the center, and what's that is going to do is going to draw the sword bearer towards the center so that people can attack him. Again, the sword bearer is taking a little bit of time to kill, and again, that's just because we've got a group here that's not able to target him super well right off the start, but that is okay. We're going to keep on going through here. Again, we're going to try to get to the top of the block here, but this is actually kind of a better place. You can notice that I called for the damage here. I'm going to go ahead again, do 3 sword swipes, and then I'm going to run off to the side. I'm going to do the exact same thing this time. I'm going to crouch down, go invisible, and call for damage. What tends to happen with this is people don't do enough damage, or they do damage too early, and as a result, it ends up giving you problems. You can see we've ended up defeating him here, and we'll go through it a second time. Okay guys, so let's take a look at the setup here, and we're going to notice that I have the Icebreaker equipped. The reason for that is because it has the lightweight perk available to it, and that makes your character run faster. There's a couple other weapons, including the Vex, that does have that available to it. So if you have one of those weapons, go ahead and equip it with the agility perk on it there. Next thing I'm going to say, for your grenade, use Arc Bolt Grenade. The reason for that is because you can throw this, and it will chase away the sword bearer when he gets trapped behind the rock, making him exposed to other people to be able to see him and shoot him there. Next thing is going to be the higher jump there, and what that makes is just basically easier to get on top of that rock. Vanish isn't really required. I just like to have it in case I have a super ready. Again, with Escape Artist here, I don't really use this one for this method because this method is a lot easier than other methods people are teaching, where you drop the sword and stab him to go invisible. The important one here is going to be Shadow Jack, because you gain your invisibility for a longer period of time, and you want to be invisible for as long as possible. The last one here is going to be the Stalker, and what that does is when you crouch, you gain invisibility for a short period of time, which is again extended by Shadow Jack. So what I'll say is this one, and basically here Shadow Jack, is the most important, because that's, with this specific method, that is going to be the easiest way to make this happen. So now you can see we're going to be starting it here a second time around. Once we get the second one going, we're going to do basically the exact same thing, but it's going to kind of make sense to you guys what we're doing. Again, we're going to go ahead and jump right to this center rock. The reason, again, for the center rock is because we are going to go ahead and get that sword bearer. We're going to go ahead and throw a grenade, and you can see how it chases him out to the side. What that does is it makes him in a better spot to expose him for everybody else that start doing damage. You're going to have to jump every now and again because you don't want him to take a strike at you. You can notice we're in an awful lot better shape here because the team that's going on right now is paying just a little bit more attention. I'm going to go ahead and call for damage. As I call for damage, I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to make sure I get these 3 strikes in here. And again, instead of dropping the sword and trying to get a stab in there to go invisible, I'm just going to run right over to the side here. I'm going to crouch down, go invisible like this, and as soon as he's available, I'm going to call for damage. What I'm going to do is run over to him as fast as I can. You can see I do cut it just a little bit close here, but the damage starts to happen. We're going to run again right off to the side here. If you notice that you're down any sort of HP or anything like that, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to switch to your recharge energy your recharge health when you pick up orbs thing, and that is all you're going to do. You can see I'm going to speed it up again here because there's really no need to see this part. This is just kind of a waste of time. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that I wasn't splicing in other footage of a failed attempt or something like that. So you can see when you do the 3 hits at the start, 3 hits of the second swing as well, you're going to have well more than enough to kill him just with 2 swords. So now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go out here, and you can notice that I'm going to be doing some rockets down here. The reason for the rockets is because I want to make sure that there's slightly less thrall. Also, I want to do a little bit of damage to the sword bearer. You can see there's not going to be a huge amount of damage that I did to him. Fortunately, some guys in this group have some Galahorns, and they're helping me out doing the damage here again. Again, this is kind of one of those things where it's a little bit more difficult to get this sword bearer. You can see this sword bearer is taking an awful lot of time. In fact, a lot of the damage is actually me doing damage to him. I don't want to use a grenade because what happens when I use a grenade, there is all kinds of bad things, and I can probably kill myself. Again, when I get to this second ledge here, I'm going to jump. You can see I almost died because of the damage. When I called for it, it was a little bit slow, but that's okay. We end up surviving. You can see my hair of health. Take a look at that health at the top, and we still make it work. Now I've gone invisible, so I'm going to go right back up to him here. There's no chance he's going to hit me or anything like that. Call for lots of damage, and then we're going to pound right through him here, and that is going to be another one complete. So that's definitely going to be the easiest way for you guys to go ahead and do this. If you want to go ahead and give it a try, it's a lot easier than dropping the sword and trying to go for a stab. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it useful at all, it sure would help me a lot if you guys would click that like button. Also, if you guys have time, you can hit that bright yellow subscribe button just in the center there. That'll notify you every time I publish a new video. Thanks very much for watching, guys.